Hello and welcome. It is TPK Tuesday and the first solo session of the party. Hello, everybody. Hello, ProStar, Zebus, Lurker, Sparks, Ruffian, Bacon, Bacon-filled Gusher. I forgot about your name. Holy shit. Skull Throne, hello. Welcome, welcome. Early bird special, please, with a side of wheat toast. Uh-oh. The plan for today is to do Ashilde's solo session, and then transition into TPK Tuesday, where I'm going to finish up the remaining prep for the other solo sessions, and then the following days this week will be oriented around solo sessions and sort of building them up. Okay. I believe everything is ready, so I am going to transition over. Perfect. As you will see and note behind me, there is the void, currently bereft of life and presence. However, as you all chat, as you all talk, your words will be captured behind me in perpetuity. This VOD will be split up. There will be two VODs that are born from this one. The solo session, which we put into the CTF highlights, and then, of course, TPK Tuesday. So, if you have anything you would like to say during this, be sure to say it. Okay. Let's go ahead and unmute. Hello, Ashilde.
Hi.
Are you ready?
I'm nervous, but yes.
The session is going to be oriented around you and what you are doing during these 2 weeks of downtime.
Okie dokie.
We are going to focus on whatever your character's actions are, the choices that they make, and the exploration that's involved, because you intend to lead a band of the Elion's tier folk to go reclaim their lost supplies from the caravan, or from the Emperor's lair.
Whoa. I thought we clarified this. I said I would go with them to make sure they got there, not lead. I don't lead through nature.
Well, you are the more experienced person here. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Currently, it is the 23rd of Starfall. You are inside Reynolds' basement with the rest of your companions. The Emperor Basilisk's corpse is strung up, hung by spectral chains that keep it aloft. As well, the several eggs that were pilfered from the Emperor's lair have been brought here as well and deposited into Reynolds' care. The equipment that has been spoke about will be discussed at a later time, as many of your companions are exhausted and or tired. This is the first night, rather, the beginning of your downtime. Reynold, looking to all of your companions, would say,
Right. It's probably best you go ahead and get some rest. I imagine the singing tea is probably waiting for you. Get some food and get yourself situated. I'll call to you during the week. Get your opinions on what I'm building, what I need to carve. You got any questions?
Not really. I trust your work.
Right. Well, I have no questions for you, at least not yet. Not until I start cutting into it. So, be on your way. And let me know if you need anything.
The only thing would be if I'm gonna try whoever goes after those extra supplies, but I don't know if you'd be part of that or not.
Most of my time's gonna be spent carving, but I'll do this for you. When you wake up in the morning, I'll have told some of the others. So, you should have a small band waiting for you early in the morning.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, Reynold. I'm gonna.
He brings a hand up to sort of pause you, sort of finger lifted.
Do you know how much the supplies are? Rather, how many boxes?
I think there are roughly, I believe, 7 boxes.
Alright. I'll be sure to tell him to bring extra carts as well. You've traveled there at least once or twice, yeah?
Correct. I have somewhat of a way. We need to stay out the deep woods because the terror is literally right there as soon as you go in. Like, it's getting closer and you can see its effects getting closer to town. So hopefully we can get what we need and take care of that as soon as possible.
Aye. Alright. I'll pass that on along. Go ahead and get some rest. They'll be waiting for you early in the morning.
Happy carving, Reynold?
Happy trekking.
Yes. I'm probably going to be the slowest one of the lot, but we'll see how it does.
Turning, you would watch as he sort of dismisses the whole party, and you would watch the one arm brought up, sort of very curiously rubbing along the stubble of his chin as he stares at this massive, grotesque, bloated corpse. With a nod, you would watch, or rather hear, as everybody departs and the doors close to the basement, this first sickening cut through the blubber-like hide as the Slayer begins to carve.
Oh, don't like that sound. All right, let's go.
You and the rest of your companions, either some staying or some departing to do their own things. Regardless, you have a choice. Where would you like to sleep? Would you like to return to the Singing Tear? Is there any other place you would like to visit before you go to bed tonight?
I do believe Sillarel wants to be part of returning the chest to Miss Storm Oak, so I'm going to head back to the Singing Tear because I'm not going to take that experience because she wants to do that as like a group.
As a group, understood. So we'll save that for when everybody is back together, which is the party bringing Amira the requested jewel. So, making your way back to the Singing Tear, you would see as it is well into the evening already. Aside from the light rain, which you can barely feel at this point, there is that cool evening breeze that rushes through Eliond. There is a calm. And despite the warning that you just gave to Reynold, the fear of the terror that looms just on the edge of town, this calm seems to question all of that. Roll me a history check.
Yes, sir. No.
A 9. As you're walking, your mind sort of wanders for a moment, attempting to recall something that you had heard during the fight. But just as quickly as it had appeared in your mind, it vanishes all the same. Perhaps another time. Regardless, the path before you is clear, making your way back to the Singing Tear with little to no issue, aside from maybe some muck on your boots. Arriving at the Singing Tear, again, still well into the evening, there is the roar of the fireplace that greets you. The calm of the Singing Tear sort of offering this tranquility that wasn't felt while out in the wilderness. And you return victorious with your companions. Some modicum of pride, hopefully. Most, if not everybody, is asleep. Gerald, Guinevere, Yorin, and the rest already having retired now. As you would have remembered, you woke up Reynold when you all arrived. As such,
Understood.
you're able to explore the Singing Tear as you wish, or go to bed.
I'm going to march myself right to a bath, and because of all the ichor, I'm going to create water in the tub. I'm going to bathe myself, and then I'm going to go to bed.
Understood. The splash of water that fills the tub and dunking the sort of heating stone that is there gives you a nice warm bath to wash off the grime of battle, the several days of trekking through the wilderness, just to return home. And now there is comfort. However, in the morning, you'll have to leave this again and return to the very same lair you just left. But hopefully, a little easier traveling this time around.
Hopefully. But she's going to take her rest and go about her business.
Perfect. Is there any, rather, go ahead and hit the long rest button for me if you'd be as kind. Fantastic.
How many points of exhaustion would I lose?
How many points do you have?
2.
2. You would lose 1. Waking up to a brand new day, the rest of your companions either still asleep or going about their various tasks already. Your exhaustion had afforded you a little longer sleeping in than perhaps you'd have liked. But as you awake, you would be able to prepare yourself. Is there anything you would like to do this morning before you head down to greet your party that will be joining you on this expedition out to the lair?
I'm going to swap out a few spells here real quick.
Fantastic. What spells are you swapping?
Probably going to swap Shield out for Ice Knife. I always keep Featherfall prepared for reasons.
There's just something I don't even think I don't think I've dropped one of your characters since Return of the Storm.
It wasn't Return of the Storm that had me always have it, and you damn well know it.
All right, swapping out Shield and what else?
I'm just taking a look here. Let's see here. I am going to swap out Blindness, Deafness for Prayer of Healing.
Okay.
Since I'm going to be in a bigger party. I'm going to keep Dragon's Breath. Protection from Poison is going out for Lesser Restoration.
All good choices. Once you have swapped your spells, the smell of an early morning breakfast calling to you, you're able to make your way downstairs. And you would find, waiting for you on the long benched table, is some familiar faces and others not so much. You would see a familiar bright red tiefling, as you had expected. It is Roy Broadhurst, the owner of the general store, and sort of the man who provides a lot of the necessary supplies, or ensures that a lot of the trading that happens is a fair deal outside of those done by the village council and the women's circle. And as Roy sort of lifts his brows, just like when he sees you and the other companions that are there beside him, which are just a number of farmhands, very plainly dressed, Roy would sort of bring a hand up and rub along his chin, a warm smile sort of running across his lips. Well, good morning to you.
Oh, good morning, Roy. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm told that you are the one leading us to this cave.
I'm going to guide you the best I can. I kind of wish, like Kellen was coming along because he's better at navigating than I am, but I have a pretty good idea where we're going.
Well, if it's all the same, I trust in your abilities.
But I realize one of us needs to go along just in case. There are a few things to kind of watch out for out there, and I would be bereft if anything happened because you weren't appropriately warned.
Sort of looking at the others that are there, he keeps the smile. You can see some of the others, the more sort of common folk that are present, not really experienced or anything like that. They sort of give Roy this very hesitant look, but he would bring a hand out, sort of patting along the younger man's back as he gives a nod to you. Well, that is mighty kind of you. We're going to ensure that at least nothing else, nothing bad happens to these folks. And with you at my side, I feel very, very confident in that.
Well, I can try and keep them as healthy as I can as we go.
That's all we need. Why don't you go ahead and get yourself some breakfast, and then once you're done with that, we'll get the carts ready.
All right. Good. We actually have carts. Ours broke.
I heard. It's a rather sorry day, but don't worry none. I imagine being here in Elion and all your adventuring that you've done, you'll be able to get a new one. Lickety split, no issue.
I hope so.
Me too. Go on, eat.
And she'll dig into the breakfast that was prepared.
Let's see what you guys got for breakfast this morning. Hold on. We're going to see what Guinevere has cooked up for you and the rest of your companions, as well as any other of your party that have decided to come down and eat. Ah, perfect. There it is. Okay. That's a little interesting one.
I'm curious.
I don't even know if they'd be able to get that, so we're gonna change that up.
What was it? What was it? Just out of sheer curiosity.
It was manticore omelets.
Oh.
And I said, I don't know how they're able to get that, so we're not going to do that.
Okay.
All right, maybe we're not going to use this generator anymore. This shit went wild. It used to be very reasonable. It is no longer reasonable.
Okay. What was the second?
Roasted grell. So we're no longer using that.
Okay. Okay.
You are having some delicious flapjacks.
Oh, it's my favorite. So she is like, this is literally Ashilde's favorite food is like breakfast sweet cakes, like donuts and stuff like that. Like that is her Achilles heel, the thing she loves to eat the most. So she is killing it.
Everybody else seems to enjoy it as well. And you enjoy this very hearty breakfast, of which you would see that the other companions that are here, they would dole out some silver pieces from their coin purses. They all eventually stand up, brushing their hands together. Roy, pushing a hand to his shoulder, sort of rolls it back. All right, let's go ahead and get ourselves situated. Come on.
All right. She fastens her boots like she's traveling again and gets her leathers with the furs and prepares to leave.
Making your way out into the very early morning where you can still feel the chill that's in the air. Mr. Olcott, the gentleman in charge of the stables, would be the one providing the horses necessary for this travel. You would get 3 carts, so you have a little caravan. It is you, Mr. Broadhurst, and 6 other sort of farm hands or helping hands here in Elion. Once everything is situated, all of the horses are fully kitted up and prepared. Mr. Broadhurst would have you sit in the leading cart with him and would turn to look at you for a moment. Right. I've only heard stories, so being inside town, I'm not really all too familiar with what's been going on outside of it. So, is there anything we should know about before we head too far out?
She would kind of give a face. All right. So when we leave town, we're going to hug the river. We do not want to be close to the woods in any way, shape, or form. The terror, what we assume is the terror giant shadow bear, is literally right inside the woods.
Roy,
And it gets close.
Roy sort of purses his lips together in thought. You would see as he brings a hand up, sort of running his fingers through the top portion of that rather large beard that he has. And he would muse for several seconds before nodding. Right, well, I only thought it was a little, folk tale. I didn't really know it was real. So, if you've seen it, you and your companion seen it, I trust you. So we'll hug the river.
Yeah, we need to hug the river. The other thing, there is a rock in the territory.
You can see him sort of knit his brows together. What?
A giant eagle-like bird that can literally pick up one of these carts.
Ah. That's what your people call them. They call them rocks.
That's what they said it was, and I trust them. I just called it the big bird.
Right. No, where I'm from, we call them thunderbirds.
Then it would be a thunderbird. There are... we ran into some shambling plant-like creatures. I think they call them shambling mounds as well, and they are not fun.
You can see him sort of shake his head. All right, that one I'd have no idea about. So,
It's a giant thing made up of a bunch of plants that likes to try and absorb people, and it likes to smash things, and sometimes it's electrified, and I'm not really sure what the other one did. I was only close to the one that had the electricity.
all right. That's horrifying. All right, lads, we're going to be hugging the river. So, stay close. Don't go too far. And if you see any shadows in the sky, try not to be too fast moving.
She'll give 2 little door thumbs up.
All right.
Try and meet everybody.
Go ahead and I'm going to start leading us. You're going to tell us where we're going.
Very well.
And with that, following alongside you, the other carts begin to follow very closely. And with Mr. Broadhurst at the helm and you sort of guiding. All right, making your way to the edge of town, we are going to map transition into the Hexcrawl map.
Yay. Boy, I'm gonna miss their perceptions.
Mr. Broadhurst will be doing the perceiving for you.
Oh, thank God.
All right, give me just a moment to put down your token. Perfect. Now, of course, this being the Hexcrawl map, I haven't put it into quadrants yet, so it is still very much a laggy mess, and I do apologize.
Oh, you're not fun. I don't.
All right.
About that.
So the destination is which hex?
Let me scroll out here because it always puts me in the corner with our token.
Oh, let me ping you real quick. Then that should bring you. There we go.
No, it didn't put me all the way over there. So give me one moment. All right, we are going to hug the river.
All right. No. I need a destination point.
We are heading to the cave itself.
All right.
No stops. I want to not be anywhere near the woods or anything, and this is not my typical thing without the rest of the party. So it's kind of like I want to get in, I want to get out.
Perfect. So this is what's going to happen. As you are the solo lead on this, Mr. Broadhurst is going to be your perceiver. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick your next hex. You're going to roll me the encounter dice, which is a d12, and then Mr. Broadhurst will roll his perception check. So pick your next hex, please. Fantastic. And roll for me the d12. All right, give me just a moment.
Fuck.
All right. Starting out strong.
Yay!
Okay, this is grasslands. Okay. As you are traveling, your the attention is drawn by Mr. Broadhurst, who's sort of keeping his eyes open as he's leading the horse along. As he turns, he would sort of pause for a moment, as his attention lifts up to look at the sky. And as he does, he would point it out to you as well. You would see, as he is leading you, or as he is sort of pointing it out, you would see what appears to be a small scaled creature. It's probably no bigger than like a watermelon in size. You can see its tiny wings outstretched, and it appears to be chasing birds. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Yes, sir.
A 12. As you are looking at it, sort of watching it, you would catch as the sort of early morning light begins to peek through some of the sort of thinner rain clouds, and you would see the sort of gold glint that catches across the side of its body. This appears to be a gold pseudo-dragon, and it appears to be chasing birds.
Oh, isn't that cute?
Sort of Roy, watching it for several moments, goes, "Is that little dragon?"
Yeah, I think it's a pseudo dragon.
What?
A pseudo dragon. There are smaller versions of dragons. They're tinier and sometimes more temperamental. Think of them like cats in personality sometimes. Really, really intelligent cats.
Oh, all right. Do you see him look up as it sort of swoops down and dives against one of the, like one of the pigeons, sort of knocking it out of the air, and then swoops back up?
Silveril is going to be very, very upset she didn't get to see that.
All right. Well, we'll tell her about it. Or unless
Yes,
you prefer I don't, because you don't want her to be upset at you.
There's nothing to be upset about. She can't control what we do and see, and if she gets upset about that, then that's her choice.
All right. Go ahead. Let's keep moving, everybody.
All right, we're gonna move to the Griffin sighting one next.
Okay. Encounter dice, please.
Yes, sir. 10.
Okay.
No.
Roy is preoccupied, sort of just looking around, but not really at anything in particular. However, with a 10, you sort of pass through this portion of the grasslands. It is calm. That serene feeling once more returns. And as you hear the sort of creaking of the wagon, the sort of stomping of the horses, and the just sort of idle chatter, as quiet as it is, even behind you, but the idle chatter of your companions that are traveling alongside you, you feel at ease. And as you're moving through here, it is now approaching evening. This is your end of your first day, your first part of the expedition. And as it is very calm and very serene here in this hex, there's little to no issue, and as such, you do not have to take a watch tonight.
Fantastic. So I don't really need to hit the long rest button, but I can take away 1 point of exhaustion, correct?
Correct. So it would behoove you to hit the long rest button, because it will take away a point of exhaustion.
It doesn't touch the exhaustion on my thing. I have to do it manually.
Very well.
But I'll do it anyway.
All right. Mr. Broadhurst and the others did bring some basic equipment, as well as what looks to be tents, as one of the caravans in the back is just holding all of the sort of supplies for your guys' expedition. It has rations, as well as tents, sleeping bag, or bedrolls for everybody.
She thanks the gods for small blessings and not Alaric's cooking, because he had that one great meal, and then it was kind of lacking the next two.
This is just field rations, so nothing exquisite or anything like that. Hardtack, jerky, all that stuff.
Yeah, but compared to Alaric's last meal, still better.
As you rest for the evening, you can hear the call of nature around you. You can hear what sounds to be like the sort of evening call of birds. You can hear the sort of noises of other creatures. It's almost as if slowly but surely, not only with the death of the Emperor, but with what else followed in the Emperor's wake, it almost seems as if a calm is beginning to wash over the land again, and the animals that had been in hiding or had been fleeing are slowly returning. And you awaken to a new day.
That would make her smile a great deal.
As it is a new day, you don't need to worry about rations. Roy did bring for everybody, at least a week's worth of rations. So if for whatever reason this takes longer than a week, you'll have to start eating your own rations.
Understood.
Perfect. Go ahead and pick your next hex, please. Encounter dice, please. A 7. Okay. We're going to roll perception for Mr. Broadhurst. Then a D8. All right. And then another 100. You would watch, soaring overhead, as if sort of passing through the area, a large figure. Not massive, but large. Very sizable to even just sort of the size of the horses and the carts here. You would see its wings outstretched, as well as its sort of taloned arms sort of curled in on itself, its beaked snout. You would watch as a griffin soars overhead, and it begins to circle.
Okay, if it's one of the wild ones, I think maybe not best to attack it unless it attacks first. She'd point it up. She'd point up at the griffin.
All right. What are we doing?
Keep moving until it does something. I don't want... If there's... They said, the last time we came across them, they said if there's one, there's probably more. So I don't want... That's not something I want with these townfolk here. So
Alright.
best not to agitate it. And let's keep moving.
Okay. For the entirety of this hex, you are being followed by a griffin. Pick your next hex.
Alright, we're gonna move to this one.
Encounter dice, please.
Yes. Nine.
Good. Had you rolled any lower, the griffin would have attacked, as it was rather interested in the horses that you were using to draw your carts. However, as you roll a 9, its interest wanes. Seeing all of you so tightly knitted and close together, it decides too much of a risk, too much hassle, and as such, the griffin flies off into the distance. And as the evening begins to settle, there is a bit of wariness now. You are close to the deep wood, as well towards the lower portion of the river, further and further from Elion's. As you rest tonight, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I'd just be doing a little bit of spell research, like before I sleep at night. The thing that I wanted to do, in regards to trying, like, seeing what I can do to possibly make that spell and things along those lines, studying.
Okay.
Just getting to like a head start on it, but not like an all night thing. I still take my rest. It's just a little bit of work since we're stopped.
Sure.
I'd help set up camp and everything like that, and that's what I do.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Okay. One of the things that you would realize while beginning to sort of draft out this spell is that usually a lot of spells would require, if nothing else, some form of component. And as you sort of have this epiphany as you're beginning to write, you realize that coming up with your own spells, at least to start, until they're perfected, generally are going to require a component of some sort. And now your mind begins to wander with the possibilities of what those components can be in terms of trying to adapt them to this absorbing elements type spell.
Yeah, the comfort spell. Like, she thinks about, like, maybe different pieces of cloth, like a small piece of silk, small piece of, like, for, like, when it's hot, or a piece of ice, and maybe a little bit of sulfur, like ice for hot, sulfur for fire for cold. And she starts musing on that, writing down different things.
Okay. Go ahead and hit your long rest button. I'm going to roll to see if anything happened during the night. Your camp in the middle of the night would have been visited, though you and your companions were asleep. You'd have woken up to what appears to be a sort of overgrowth. The grass around you has almost surged with life. You would see that a lot of the flowers that perhaps shouldn't have bloomed yet, given that it's still winter, have already bloomed and are covered in that sort of morning dew. As well, there appears to be a sort of wicker or woven basket of some form of reed or plant of some sort. And inside are a number of these bright blue berries. About as many of them that there are as you and your companions. So about 6 in total.
Do they look similar to Kellen's berries?
They do not. These look larger.
Interesting. Let me... I'm gonna do ritual detect magic and then detect poison.
Okay.
Both as rituals, so 10 minutes each before I let anybody touch them.
All right. Taking 20 minutes to fully get yourself situated here. The first 10 minutes with Detect Magic would reveal to you that the area around you as well is suffused with transmutation magic, and the berries themselves are suffused with transmutation magic. However, as you detect poison, nothing is revealed.
All right, I'll be the first one to try one then, before they do.
Taking one of the large berries and consuming it, it is a myriad of flavors. It ranges from sort of sour to sickly sweet to almost savory. It is a blend of everything. And it seems to go through various courses, like eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is a good berry, but definitely different from Kellen's.
It's a good berry on crack.
As you were visited by a druid last night.
Seeing what was left, let me look and see what I have in mind, because I will leave something in return in case they're still in the area. Because that's how I roll. Where is it? Inventory. I will leave. I will leave my dagger.
Interesting. Okay, go ahead and remove the dagger from your character sheet.
All right, let me try and remove it.
Seeing you leave something, Mr. Broadhurst and the other companions sort of turn to look at each other, musing over themselves, and as they have also partaken of the berries, they would also leave some things behind. Most of them not really having much in terms of like adventuring equipment or anything like that. But one of the gentlemen, having been fed, would leave a ration behind as sort of like a, you gave me food, I give you food. Another.
I did not mean to do that.
All right. You stab one of the commoners.
Not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get it off my character sheet. This character sheet's still new. I don't know how to remove items.
They begin to bleed out. So what you're going to do is you're going to go up to your character sheet, and you should see a lock symbol in the top right. Or not top right, but along the right. Click that, and then you should be able to delete the dagger. Once you're done deleting it, go ahead and hit that lock again so you don't accidentally delete anything else.
Understood.
Perfect. The rest of your companions all leave something, either money or rations, as well as your dagger, all sort of neatly presented within that basket, that woven basket. All right. Go ahead and pick your next hex for the day.
Right there.
Encounter dice, please. A 6. Okay. An 8. Oh, all right. Give me just a moment. Roll for me a d20, please.
Yes, sir.
Understood.
Uh-huh.
As you are traveling, you feel a wave. Something washes over you. And your fingertips, where your tattoos are, they go numb.
It would be with that feeling because of how everything's done. Because of the feeling that it had that effect on her magic, she's apprehensive to cast, but she'd be like, I think we need to move.
Understood. Mr. Broadhurst sort of turning his attention to look around. You'd see he sort of brings a hand up, sort of rubbing at his bicep, sort of covered with the sleeve of a shirt. You can see him sort of rubbing at something beneath it, sort of trying to like get rid of the sensation. Similar to you, it appears that he has some sort of feeling of numbness that is sort of rolling through his arm. But he would nod and follow your lead. So which hex are you picking next?
Elwin.
Let's move. Roll me an encounter dice.
Dear God, please no.
I see.
I would inform Roy, getting closer to the archway, that this is where the plant creatures were, so if we need to run, we need to run. If you see any giant growths or anything like that, stay away. Tell them to stay away. Don't go near it.
Give me just a moment.
Fuck.
Ah, this. Let's see, this is your second hex of the day?
I think so, yes.
Okay. So just well into the evening now. Okay. All right. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Remember, it is just me, please, God.
I'm well aware, but the dice don't care. I need to change this. I need to put on... This.
Uh-huh. Yay.
As you
Hate,
arrive
hate that.
well into the evening, your attention is drawn to what lays before you. Not only is the elven archway this sort of epicenter, this place where a lot of things happen, your attention is drawn to what appears to be the archway itself, no longer covered in the sort of moss that surrounded it before. The archway itself is fine. You'd have seen that there is vegetation that has grown around. Give me 1 second. We need a map transition.
Of course we do.
That, get rid of 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 that. Put that you up there. Put Mr. Broadhurst right beside you. Rinse and repeat this. Put some commoner folks on there. Give me just a second. All right. I need you to give me a hot minute. So if you would like, go ahead and get a drink. Get what you need to get, because I need to set up this real quick.
Uh-huh. Vitapack, I've already done that. I did that prior to the basilisk fight. That's the trick, Cody. After my first session with this man, I've always had a backup.
What the fuck?
And it's a divination wizard, you fuck.
Like hell it is.
I'd roll in Sabina if the dice came up where she was like released for some reason. I would totally roll in with Sabine again. Ashilde leaves with the caravan and Sabine comes back.
Okay, give me just a second. Uno momento.
Por favor.
Correct. Okay, we're gonna scoot all of the lads up. Perfect. Okay. As we map transition here to the archway. It is well into the evening. It would not be raining. So no rain or anything like that. Smile. Or lightning. However, Mr. Broadhurst would hear it and would point it out to you. He could hear what sounds like rattling chains.
Oh, don't know how I feel about that.
And as the chains rattle, as they sort of... Actually, let me move these gentlemen back. Here, let me grab this. Put you guys up. Put the focus on you. Perfect. So I can grab these gentlemen and move them around appropriately. Okay. You would hear rattling of chains. And you would hear what sounds like low, guttural breathing. Thanks to Mr. Broadhurst's perception check, his attention very quickly snaps to this moving mass that seems to rise up. You would see around its neck this thick wrought iron collar with a chain that is pulled back, and you would hear what sounds like barking, these sort of guttural barking sounds as a troll and two Morlings, who seem to be its sort of owners, jump out from their ambush. However, you are not surprised, but it is initiative.
Okay.
Ooh, music time. All right, wizard. That's a really unfortunate roll, Ashilde.
Well aware.
Start of initiative. It is the Marauder, who lets go of the chain on the troll, allowing it to be free, no longer restrained. You would hear this scream that comes from it, sort of slamming its own fist, its claws digging into the earth. And as it does, the Marauder draws from its side a javelin, whoosh, and hurls it. I'm going to roll. This will also be, I believe... Well, this will be against Mr. Broadhurst. 13 just misses. Mr. Broadhurst turning to the side very quickly as the javelin sticks into the cart. You would watch as he very quickly stands up, sort of slamming his fists together. Mr. Broadhurst is ready for the fight, and the Marauder, that was its turn. It is the Fury's turn. you are within range. The Fury, you would watch as it sprints from the cover, axes in hand. You would watch as it gets within reach of you. It is going to take a swing with its Ruiner's War Axe.
Oh, fuck this guy.
As
That
a
hits.
16 to hit. All right. I don't know why it rolled twice. Why'd you roll twice? Ah, as if you're prone. Okay. So you take 8 points of slashing damage. I need you to make me a strength saving throw. DC
Oh,
13.
that's my best one.
I believe in you. Success. You are not knocked prone. All right. It is Mr. Broadhurst's turn. And seeing the guy right next to you, Mr. Broadhurst will, as he slams down, you can sort of feel the weight. There's almost this different air about Mr. Broadhurst as he sort of rolls his shoulders back, bringing his fists up. He's going to make his 2 swings. He is first going to do his grab.
My boy's a monk.
So 25 to hit. Dealing 5 points of bludgeoning damage. And as you would watch as he swings, the fist connects, sort of gripping this creature by its throat. The Fury is grappled. Mr. Broadhurst is then going to use Haymaker.
I yub him.
And because the creature is grappled, he'll do more damage. So instead of 6, he deals 12, bludgeoning the back of this creature's head. All right. Ooh, and because he is a tiefling, because the creature is bloodied, it activates his Blood Hunt ability.
Oh.
So that's another 3 fire damage on top. All right. It is the troll's turn. Ooh, the troll. 1, 2. You already are wounded. Slamming up now against the side of the cart, causing it to rock forward to the side and slam back down. It is going to use its multi-attack twice against you and then once against Mr. Broadhurst.
Okay.
So this is going to be the bite. 13.
Misses.
Misses. It's going to use its claw.
Misses.
And then the claw against Mr. Broadhurst. That is a natural 1. Mr. Broadhurst.
Since I have Warcaster, can I do a cantrip as attack of opportunity?
It would have if the attack was against you.
Okay. I thought if it missed in general.
It's whoever it's attacking gets to do the attack of opportunity.
Okay.
And Mr. Broadhurst, keeping his grapple, he is not going to take it because it would mean he'd have to lose the grip. However, that is the troll's turn. Unable to hit anybody, it's your go, Ashilde.
Okay. Bonus action, I'm casting Dragon's Breath on myself with Fire Breath. And as the action, I'm going to release it.
Okay, go ahead and post the card for me.
I'm getting there. Give me a sec. I'm casting at 3rd level, by the way.
Okay.
Hold on here. It's making me...
All right. Dexterity save DC 14.
Yep.
That's 11. That misses. He's going to take the 9 points. Give me a moment. Indeed, 9 points of fire damage. Okay.
And I'm going to try and pull it away from the cart.
Okay. Still being grappled, the Fury is going to try and bite you as you rush past.
That hits.
All right. That's 5 points of piercing damage. As it bites across your back as you run, sort of latching into your shoulder. And a Constitution saving throw. DC is 10 to maintain concentration.
Understood. And it would just be a con roll, period, correct?
Yeah, there's a con save.
I would lose it.
All right. Concentration on Dragon's Fire will go out. Or Dragon's Breath will go out. Just a moment.
Got a question. Since he's grappled, would he have disadvantage?
That does not impose disadvantage. That is restrained.
Gotcha.
This, for some reason, is not interesting. Okay. We're going to put, just so folks can see a little bit. But there we go.
Oh my gosh, it went Technicolor.
Just for this. Generally, you would need a light source, but I thought it would show Mr. Broadhurst's vision. It doesn't. Okay. And you end your turn there?
I have Warcaster. That's right. I think I get advantage on that.
What does it say?
Let me look. Where is it? That's passive abilities. Eldritch Mind, Awaken, Arcane Tradition spellcasting. You can use your reaction to make an opportunity attack against casting time that has one action targets that creature. That's all I have. It's not the one for maintaining concentration. It's the attack of opportunity one.
Are you sure?
That's what the card says on my sheet.
Warcaster gives you 3 things. And you have an advantage on con saves that make you maintain your concentration.
Alright, so I'll roll that again.
Okay. If you have Warcaster, yes.
Hey, I maintain it!
There you go. All right. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Understood. It is the Marauder who goes. 15. Ooh. The interest would be you, given that you just breathed fire. Okay. It is going to throw its... Actually, it's not. It's going to use its Scythe Sword. So it has advantage against you because you do not have all of your hit points with Blood Frenzy, and is going to attack with its Scythe Sword. As a natural
Shite.
20. That is 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
I need another Constitution saving throw. At advantage.
Okay. Still doesn't help.
This time you do lose concentration. Okay. You would realize, actually, what is your current... Actually, you are not bloodied yet, so you are still fine. But you can see this sort of, like, adrenaline surging through the Moorling. It is the Fury's turn, who is caught in a grapple with Mr. Broadhurst. It is going to use its bonus action, called Healing Rally. Regain 5 hit points. You would listen to its sort of blood-curdling shout, its yell into the air as it sort of... its wounds burn this momentary color and then relax. Then it is going to make a swing against Mr. Broadhurst. Grappled as it is. 12 misses. It is Mr. Broadhurst's turn. He is going to slam it with another haymaker as part of his multi-attack. 15 hits. Because he has it grappled still, that is 13 points of bludgeoning damage. And you would hear this sickening, this crack that comes from it as his fist connects into the side of the Morling's head. This pitiful whelp that leaves it as it turns its attention now to the troll. He's going to move up. And he's going to make another slam attack. A 15 just hits. 7 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay. They are both grappled again.
This man sitting here wrestling a troll, I have the utmost respect.
It is the troll's turn, who is going to just slam the shit out of Mr. Broadhurst. $25 to hit. Dealing 9 points of piercing damage. It's going to then claw. 10 misses. And a 12 misses. You would watch as he bites in and rips out this chunk of Mr. Broadhurst, this sort of this grunt that comes from him, but still holding on to the sort of arm of this creature. All right, Ashilde.
I'm going to use Cure Wounds 3rd level
Okay,
on me.
understood. Let's see it. Counterspell. No.
You would. You've done it before.
Let's see it. $11 points restored. I'll do that. There you go. You're no longer at the threshold of being bloodied.
I'm going to move.
It will get an attack of opportunity from you, as it does have a reach weapon.
I'm still going to make it chase me.
Okay. He will attack. So our natural
This thing
20.
hates me.
That is 10 points of slashing damage.
Mm-hmm.
Whoosh! As it rakes across your back, this cut that causes you to almost squeal out in pain. All right.
Let me see here. I'm looking at some here.
Take your time.
Where is it? Yeah, it wouldn't count as that. Alright, so I've got nothing, to be honest.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right. It is the Marauder's turn. The Marauder's after you.
I'm sure he is.
He's going to make his attack with his scythe sword.
He's
21
just
to hit.
he's laying into me.
That is 3 points of slashing damage. Are you bloodied?
Bloodied is half?
Yes.
No.
All right. What is half for you?
Half for me is 27. I'm almost there.
Okay. All right. All right. So it does not get its bloody bite ability. It's Mr. Broadhurst who's going to lay into the troll. A 12 misses. $18 hits. Dealing 12 points of bludgeoning damage to the troll. Alright, and maintaining that grapple. It is the troll's turn. And because it has been a round of not receiving any damage, or of an appropriate type, it regenerates. Regenerating 10 hit points. And it's going to start laying into Mr. Broadhurst again. 11 misses. $22 hits. 10 points of slashing damage. Another cut across Mr. Broadhurst's frame. Ashilde, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm reading something real quick before I do my next action.
All good.
Perfect. Okay. I have had quite enough of this. My next, I'm going to be doing Rhymes Binding Ice.
All right.
And I'm switching it to Thunder, and I'm using the Storm Stone. I'm casting it at 3rd.
Okay.
And it's max, so that's 4d8 max, 32 damage.
32 damage.
Of Thunder. And if...
All right. Creature takes half as much damage. Okay. So that's... How much did you say? 32?
Yeah.
32 reduced to half. That's, what, 16?
Yep.
16 points. And it goes into a frenzy.
It would.
Powerful hit, especially as you invoke the power of the Storm Stone, sort of channeling the energy through, slams through this creature, but as it sort of stands its ground, sort of catching itself with its scythe sword, you would see its attention focus on you, this hyperfixation. Its eyes wide, pupils dilated, this almost heavy breathing through its mouth as these sort of strands of saliva begin to sort of crest over its teeth, spilling out of its mouth as it begins to just begin to hyper focus. What are you doing?
Shit. All right, boys back there, if you have anything, whether it be arrows or anything, please, a little assistance.
They are, they have no weapons.
I didn't think so. It was worth a shot. I've got nothing. And if I move away, it's going to hit again, so I'll just stay for right now.
All right. It is its turn.
This thing hates me.
Just maybe. 7 points of slashing.
Now I'm bloodied.
As you are bloodied, it immediately gets bloody bite, and it lunges at you. 15?
No, 16.
Okay, that misses. As the scythe sword catches across your body and your blood begins to spill, you would see the frenzy lash out, and it almost forgoes the scythe to, like, thrust its maw at your neck for this sort of killing blow. But you manage to pull yourself away just in time. It is Mr. Broadhurst still duking it out. $14 misses. 16 would hit. 10 points of bludgeoning. The troll regenerates. You would see him turn. Ashilde, I could use some help.
I'm kind of dealing with my own thing right here. I'll be right with you.
The troll is going to lay into Mr. Broadhurst again. 25 hits. 10 points of piercing. Natural 1. Mr. Broadhurst, another haymaker. 17 hits. 13 points of bludgeoning. Slams him with another claw. 16 hits. 13 points. Mr. Broadhurst is bloodied. Ashilde.
Alright. Gotta think about how to position this. Alright, I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to heal myself because if he hits me too hard, I'm gone. So I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds, 2nd level.
Okay. $16's huge.
Yeah.
Alright, no longer bloodied.
And I'm just gonna try and face this thing down best I can.
Understood. It's hyper fixated on you. They had this fight gone any differently, they'd be attacking the commoners that are behind you. But with you and Mr. Broadhurst putting up such a fight and having already killed one Morling, they are fixated on you.
Gotcha.
It is the Marauder's turn.
It hits me.
7 points.
This thing hates me.
You're not bloodied, so it doesn't get its bite ability. Mr. Broadhurst, go. As he is bloodied, he's going to use his bonus action to use Infernal Blood, which is a stance that he can take. Part of his tiefling racial. All right. He's going to make his haymaker slams. 25 hits. 10 points of bludgeoning. The troll is bloodied. Just slammed again. 19 hits. 13 points of bludgeoning. Alright. It is the troll's turn. Troll regenerates. Is going to bite him. 14 just hits. Oh, that was Mr. Broadhurst. Whoops. Lamau. Wrong character sheet open. 22 hits.
Yeah.
9 points of piercing to Mr. Broadhurst. However, with his stance, as he bites, the wound burns. The blood almost turns to fire and causes the creature to recoil very sharply as he takes 3 points of fire damage. He's going to lash out again, sort of driven into this frenzy as he's bloodied and it can't really escape Mr. Broadhurst. 17 hits. Jesus, that's a big hit. 15 points. Takes another 3. Slams him again.
My God.
As a natural 20. That is 20 points of damage. Mr. Broadhurst is unconscious. He is no longer grappled.
Okay.
And he slowly turns to look at you.
Perfect.
Ashilde, it's your turn. Roy is unconscious, and you are facing off against this marauder.
Hold on. Mr. Broadhurst is within 15 feet of me. I am going to cast Cure at second.
Okay.
Not nearly as good as I would hope.
6 points is enough to bring him out of unconsciousness. He's still prone, so he'll have to take his turn to get up.
And then I can't cast anything. I'm just going to have to try not to die.
Understood. It is the Marauder's turn. You would hear some of the commoners now, seeing Mr. Broadhurst fall, seeing you guys fighting as intensely as you are. You would watch as some of them jump down off of their cart. You would watch as they begin to pick up rocks and just start trying to throw rocks. Anything that they can. They don't have anything. They're not fighters, but seeing this situation, you would watch as they begin to start throwing rocks, joining into the fray. Okay, the Marauder is going to go against you with its scythe sword.
This thing has not rolled below an 18 against me.
That's 6 points of slashing. You are bloodied. It'll bite you. 16.
Hits on the nose.
That's 5 points of piercing damage. The commoner. Give me a moment. I need to set up his rock throw. Okay. You would watch as he hops down. He would go across. Seeing the one attacking you, he's going to pick up a rock and hurl it. 16 hits him. 4 points of bludgeoning damage. The rock catching against the side of this creature's head. You would see its attention snap up towards the commoner. The other commoner goes, hopping down, going to pick up a rock and throw it at the troll.
No.
The 15 just hits. That's 1 point of bludgeoning damage to the troll. The troll immediately turns.
Oh no, commoner, no.
You would hear them like, I bugger off! Leave him alone! Mr. Broadhurst.
You big great boy.
Mr. Broadhurst, conscious, sort of, draws in a breath. You would see as he turns, slamming his fist into the ground, pushing himself up to stand. As a bonus action, he will activate his stance once again. And he is going to make his 2 attacks against the troll. Try and grab its attention again. 12 misses. He's going to try and grab again. 17 hits. 5 points of bludgeoning damage. The troll is grappled. You would watch as Mr. Broadhurst, sort of holding this troll again, sort of ripping its attention back to him, would turn to you, Ashilde, and say, basically, they were the one in front of you. I got this one.
All right.
It's the troll's turn. Actually, it will not be able to regenerate because of the fire damage, but it will hit with a 26. That's 10 points of piercing damage. Mr. Broadhurst, standing up, woozy as he is, gets slammed down with another bite, sort of lifted off of the ground as the troll bites into his neck and slams him down. And as he is slammed on the ground, unconscious, the troll will lift a leg and stomp on top of him, spending part of his multi-attack. He will then begin trying to round, sort of shoving the cart out of the way, sort of working its way in. He's going to make an attack against the peasant.
Poor guy.
That peasant is eviscerated in one hit. This raking of the claws that just bisects the commoner, dead instantly in one hit. You would hear his sort of final yelp before ending up just a pile on the ground. Ashilde.
All right, so Broadhurst being down again, I'm going to try and get him up again. Cure it second.
Okay, you have a threat in front of you and another threat that's making its way around.
Okay, so the one in that case, I'm going to do something a little different. What do I got? The one in front of me, I'm going to do Thunder Wave first level.
Okay. Oh, actually, this creature would have also taken, because Mr. Broadhurst was up, it would have taken its... You're going to do what?
Thunder Wave.
Okay. I will say, you are near an object.
I'm going to position it to where it's not hitting
Okay.
it.
Now, Thunderwave is centered around yourself.
And that I would move to not hit the thing.
Gotcha. Okay, so you would go ahead and move your token appropriately. Perfect. All right. Constitution saving throw for... Not for the troll.
Oh, thank God!
Not for the troll, sorry.
It makes it.
Does it take half damage?
On
Takes-
success, half damage isn't pushed.
Well, all it needed was half damage as it had 2 hit points left. Its body sent ragdolling, spilling over its other friend, and sent scattering back, even on success.
I'm gonna move 15 feet, and I'm gonna... What does the ointment take? I think the ointment's an action.
I do believe it is a bonus action on yourself. Bonus action on yourself, action to apply to another creature.
Then I'll bonus action use the ointment on me for
Okay.
right now.
That's 10 points back to you. I'll add that to your sheet right now, or add that to your total. Go ahead and spend a charge of it. So it'll be down to 3 charges.
Yeah, I'm moving here real quick. 3 charges. Where is it? There's my inventory. Did it go?
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
All right. It is the commoner who just watched his friend get fucking obliterated. You can see the side of him is painted in gore. He is going to run.
Smart move.
He is sprinting away. And he is action dashing. You can see his eyes are wide. He looks shell-shocked.
I would be too.
It is Mr. Broadhurst's turn, who's going to roll a death saving throw. You would watch as he rolls a natural 20.
Oh my god.
It is fucking conscious once more. I don't think you get to do anything after a natural 20 death save.
No, you're not dying, but
That's fucking hilarious. He sort of like gasps awake, bringing a hand up to like clench at the side of his neck where the wound is, and he sort of brings his attention up to see the troll is still there. Okay, it is the troll's turn. The troll is going to start eating.
oh,
It is going to completely consume, so it doesn't get its natural regen, but it will begin to consume the body. And as it consumes the body, you would watch as the muscles on this creature begin to swell in size.
don't like that.
You would watch as it sort of lifts up half of the carcass and just sort of shovels it into its mouth. And you would watch as the sort of veins become more pronounced against its skin, sort of protruding upwards. You can see how they twitch and these sort of pulses that surge down their arm. It has gained some benefit or bonus from eating a corpse. Its attention slams upwards. It has spent its action to eat, but its focus is on you.
Okay.
Your turn, Ashilde.
Scorching ray.
Let's see it.
Hate that. But it's 3 rays, so
Indeed.
I gotta roll again twice.
He is going to use his reaction to claw you. I believe
Misses.
a 14 misses. All right. Go ahead with the other 2 rays. Thank God.
So how do I just re-roll it again?
Just go ahead and you should be able to just do, like, go into the sheet and just hit attack roll. Or you should be able to bring it up and then hit do not consume spell when it gives you the prompt.
Gotcha. It still did it.
That was a fire bolt.
I know, that was an accident. Where are you? I lost it. I lost it!
So when you hit Scorching Ray, there will be a prompt that comes up. It says, what level do you want to use this at? You'll hit the do not consume spell slot.
Yeah.
And 11 misses.
It hates me. I'm gonna die.
Third bolt. Or third ray. A 12 misses. All 3 of the rays you would watch as they slam against this body. The body of this creature, but as it does, you can see where the pulsing veins sort of surge. You would see as its body almost distends at places. These sort of bubbling masses of muscle and flesh that swell upwards and they catch the rays and explode, almost as if negating the fire damage altogether as portions of its body slough off. And as it does, you would see just more of this swelling mass beginning to arise from the creature. All 3 of your bolts failed.
As a bonus action, can I give Broadhurst the ointment?
Oh, like hand it over?
Yeah.
Sure. You go ahead and hand it over to him. That'll just be part of your interaction, like interact with object action.
Okay. I'd give it to him and be like, put that on. This thing's pretty much focused on me right now.
Understood. That is your turn. The commoner routes. They're fucking running. Mr. Broadhurst stands up. Bonus action, consume the ointment, so go ahead and spend a charge of it.
Yes, sir.
He's going to restore 10 hit points. Still bloodied. Still beaten, bruised. This... You would watch as he brings a hand up, sort of wiping across his nose and mouth, sort of smearing this deep red crimson. He's going to move. And he's going to go into his flurry of attacks. He's going to make his grab against the troll. 26 hits. That is 7 points of bludgeoning. They were both grappled. Then he's going to slam him with Haymaker. A 15 just hits. 14 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay. It's Mr. Broadhurst's turn. Or it's the troll's turn. Regens. Because Mr. Broadhurst was not able to activate his aura. And as it regens, you would watch as that regeneration swells through its body. Not only does it get its natural regen, it now has a regeneration token. So it is going to be healing more in subsequent turns as its body digests the commoner it just ate.
Okay.
It is now going to make its attacks. It is going to be against Mr. Broadhurst and then against you.
Okay.
That's 5 points to Mr. Broadhurst.
Hit.
Mr. Broadhurst is unconscious. This is no longer grappled. And its claw against you. If you would like, you may use your
Firebolt.
reaction. All right. Let's see it. 17 hits. 13 fire damage. This burn that catches across its body. This sort of squeal of pain, this horrifying shriek that sounds out from the creature. It has 1 hit point, Ashilde.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Magic missile.
Okay. Let's see magic missile. Perfect. Let's go. As that magic missile surges out of your hand, that desperation in this final moment, describe for us how you dispatch the troll.
I'm not going down without a fight, you fuck. And she just lets it go, and with the magic missile, I am going to turn it to fire.
Okay. Keep going. How's it hit this creature? What happens now that you've turned it to fire? Ashilde?
I've been talking this entire time without hit. Oh my god. As the fire reached down her arms, the runes almost seemed to lift, especially the ones for the fire and the magic missile itself. They don't remove themselves from her arms, but one of the blank beads along with it catches fire with the runes around it as they just catapult out, hitting this thing.
each slam erupting fire from its very body. The first dart burrowing in underneath its skin. And as your runes flare, its body almost seems to like almost crisp or begin to burn around the entry wounds. And you would see that swelling mass inside of its frame begin to almost revert, where it begins to like pull into itself. You would watch as the veins become like charred black and sort of rushing through its body until eventually the entirety of its corpse turns to ash.
Basically, it was like she took she turned those blank beads she has on her one bracelet into projectiles for this, making it almost like bullets, as she was giving it everything she has.
And it worked out perfectly. With the troll dead, combat is over. We are going to take a 15-minute break. Go ahead and get a snack, a drink, what have you. We'll reconvene at 35. Sound good?
I'll be here. You know I'm usually on time.
Perfect. I'll be back. I'm back. How you feeling, homie? Unless you want to go get a drink. Never mind. Hey everybody, how's it going? You guys enjoying the solo session so far? My god, that was fucking intense. Awfully dramatic. Really cutting it close. Rip that one unnamed commoner. No, we had a name. All of them had names, but, you know, sort of how the roleplay dictated it. They never got introduced or anything like that, right? So, natural 20 against the commoner turned him into fucking smithereens. What was his name? His name. Let me go ahead and go back to the Eliond tab. His name was Francis. And he was one of the farmstead that serves under Mr. Edgar Blackburn. He was amongst the first NPCs that the party met when they came to Elion. They were talking to the Wisdom. So DM, if a character dies / something happens to them in a solo mission, can the party recover / help them in the next campaign game? Yes, absolutely. It would become, in and of itself, an adventure, a quest for the party to help and recover Ashilde. I cannot find this one asset that I am looking for, and it's driving me a little bonkers. I wonder if it's in the game. I wonder if I just have it somewhere and I've forgotten. Will they know where that character went, or will they have to try and find them? They have to try and find them. DM is not only a D&D dungeon master, I bet you're too sadistic. I'm not sadistic. I just really like presenting challenges. I swear a good portion of the games, those dice were loaded. Such bad rolls. Very unfortunate rolls is what happened. Did I miss a session? Why is Ashilde on a solo mission? She is doing a solo mission because it is 2 weeks of downtime. This is what she's choosing to do with her downtime. And it warranted a solo mission, a little side quest. So that's what she's doing right now. She's helping the people of Elion by returning their supplies. I can just imagine the rest of the party goes around town looking for players, and the town folks are like, yes, they went down the path down yonder. He's not sadistic. He just loves turning things into statistics. Genius.
I'm back.
Welcome back. How you feeling, homie?
I am happy I made it out alive.
Nice.
And for those who are venturing outside of town, I feel sorry for them.
Well, you did great. What are you talking about? So it isn't just the dice. I knew it. Only in Crowns games do I feel my heart beat like crazy. My stress level is through the roof. What a thrill. Glad you enjoyed Skull Throne. That was fucking wild. The Scorching Rays, all of them missing, I was like, uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Ashilde about to go bye-bye.
They're gonna be like, oh, Ashilde, what'd you do? Killed a couple Morlings and a troll.
What? That's sort of the hope, is that everybody reconvenes after the 2 weeks. Everybody meets up again and goes, hey guys, what'd everybody do? Some people are like, I just sort of sat around town, sort of did what I wanted, you know, just sort of vibing. The show there's like,
I killed 2 fucking Morlings and a troll.
You did what? Did I fucking stutter?
God, that so many natural 20s.
No kidding, dude.
Fucking Christ. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I was clenched that entire fight, brother.
That is 6 natural 20s. Most of those came from the troll. Oh, shit. Well, that's cute as fuck.
What?
We have an updated overlay that Momo was kind enough to make. Just for these solo encounters. That troll was out for blood. That troll was fucking hungry. Close out the combat counter and put on some more relaxing music. There's got to make a gif of Crown doing that point from where one movie in El Dorado, he gave me a load of dice. Guards, arrest her. Thank you again, Momo. It looks great. I can't wait to see. I can't wait for everybody to get one. By the way, really clutch heals.
Trying.
You popped off, so.
It's getting that nice little mix when you're a wizard cleric. You gotta mix the offense and the defense. The one thing I think I should have done at the beginning of the fight was pop mirror image, though.
Well, you know, hindsight's 20/20. It's okay.
Yeah, it's the adrenaline of it. Like, okay, this is not the fight I was expecting. Oh God.
Not only was it not the fight you were expecting, it was a completely different fight. It was a troll and 2 Morlings.
We're gonna get to the cave, and Ria is gonna be like, "Oh, how are you doing?" And I'm gonna be like, "Troll and 2 Morlings. Where's the grapes?"
Gives you a high five. Nice. There's definitely a lot of things that could have gone worse and better, but oh well. I mean, the fact that it was only 1 casualty? Dope.
Yeah, I'm gonna be putting some heals into Roy here.
Incredibly unfortunate that it was a peasant.
He hasn't gotten that 20, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, got nat 20'd and dealt 20 points of damage in a hit. He fucking exploded. Only the strong survive. Understood. Understood. I'm sure she'll be ready to tell Francis's family what happened. Okay. You got everything you need?
Yeah, Francis died a brave and noble death.
Currently, the surge of adrenaline is still coursing through your body. You can feel that sort of clamminess, that sweat that has begun to gather on your frame, but also the chill of a winter night. And as you look around, you see the fallen corpses of the moorlings that lay slain at your feet, the ashen remains of the troll, and the unconscious body of Mr. Broadhurst.
All right, with the spells that I have left, which is 2 first level, I'm just gonna pump both into him. Cure.
Let's see it. 10 points. And another 7. He would sort of gasp awake again. Sort of this very guttural groan that leaves his chest as he sort of rolls onto his side. Just...
Thumbs up.
Gives you this very weak thumbs up. I assume we did it.
Yeah, we have 1 casualty, though.
Oh, shit. Just one?
Just 1.
All right. You got any more of that healing we could use it on him?
Well, he kind of got 8.
He sort of resting on his elbow for a moment, his eyes go sort of half-lidded and then go wide at the realization. And then he very quickly attempts to sit up, but as he does, he very sharply hisses, placing a hand to the sort of wound on his neck. And as he looks at you, he looks back, sort of looking around, and would see that the cart to the south has been displaced, sort of shoved aside. And he would sort of swallow hard, seeing that there are 2 people missing, and would sort of try to push himself up to stand.
Would point to one ran that way, the other one, unfortunately, the troll went right on him, and it was over before anything could be done.
Shit. Why'd they even join the fight?
Because we were having some issues. They did well. I mean, they threw rocks at him and they hit.
Yeah, they're just young guys, so they didn't got no training.
No, but they were brave.
Anthony, you can come on back now. It's all settled. It's a bleeding shame we can't get Francis' body. But,
I would actually go over to the troll's remains, and because he ate Francis, I'm gonna say some words. Since Francis is pretty much ash inside the troll too.
Okay.
Last rites. If I could do ceremony, I don't have what I need for it though.
No, but the prayer shall be sufficient. You can see Anthony sort of return this pale expression on their face. You can see where sort of like they've just been running and crying the entire time, just sort of completely unaware, unexpected of everything, like just that level of brutality.
Yeah.
And you would watch as he finally stops and then turns, and much like you had seen Shane, would just start heaving. And Mr. Broadhurst attempting to place a very comforting, albeit sort of strained hand on Anthony's back, sort of patting him.
I know, son. I know. We'll tell his folks when we get back, all right?
After I finish my prayer, I'm gonna look at Anthony. I'm gonna be like, "Thank you. We probably would have died if you both didn't do the bravery that you did. I appreciate it, and I'm standing here because you bought me the time I needed to get done what needed to get done."
You can see him open his mouth to start and then stop, and his lips purse together into a very thin line. You can see him bring his hand up, sort of wiping at his bottom lip, and he would slowly nod, sort of looking over to the remains, the mound of ashes that is there.
At least he didn't suffer.
No, and I said a prayer so that hopefully his soul can get the guidance it needs.
We'll tell Amira. We'll get a headstone made for him. Probably put him right next to his folks. Just, go ahead and, try to get that cart situated again. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna move these bodies out of the way.
I would kind of search through the bodies for anything.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
I want proof to take back and be like, "Here, Kellen." Can.
10. Give me just a second. A 10, huh?
No, my big eye skill is insight. I'm all about the truth, yo.
Well, with a 10, you would find across both of them that there are a number of javelins. You'd find about 10 javelins in total if you wanted to take those. And then you have their crude weaponry that you could take as well.
All right, get the crude weaponry.
Okay.
The scythe sword.
Indeed.
I just want to. I'm gonna be like, okay, this is my Tarosian trophy. Okay.
The scythe sword. All right, I'll go ahead and I'll add it to your sheet. Where are you? Perfect. I'm going to put it in your journal entry.
Yay!
Scythe sword ×1. Ruiner's war axe ×1. Javelins ×10. Okay. And you'll be able to bring those back, trade them, hand them out, what have you. Okay. Mr. Broadhurst, once you are done searching the bodies, will sort of strained but pull them over off of the main path. Anthony going back, starting to get the cart realigned, sort of situated again.
Roy, when we get to the caves, there are going to be night maidens there.
He sort of haphazardly throws the corpse, letting it roll across the ground before turning to look at you.
What?
Night maidens?
I don't know what that is, I'm afraid.
They are what harpies should have been. They are followers of Saren and very noble warriors. We helped them out with something a wee bit earlier. The one that should be there actually knows Reynold.
Oh, all right. Well, if you trust them, then I trust them as well. So,
Very good.
let's go ahead and find a place to rest. Yep.
Yeah, once we're rested, I'll try and help you the best I can. I just need to get some of my energy back.
Nah,
That
don't
took a lot of me.
worry about it. None. I've had worse.
All right. This is your second hex of the day, well into the evening now. We return to the hex scroll map. And you would be able to point out the last place that you guys had rested before sort of traversing into what was previously the domain of the Emperor, but has since fallen to ruin. With that encounter out of the way, without that threat, you guys begin to set up your camp. You can see that sort of morale is a little low with Francis's death. Everybody's sort of moving rather sluggishly. Is there anything you're doing tonight before you settle down for a long rest?
I would pat Anthony on the back. I would just try and do my best, which probably isn't to get the morale up, saying how brave he was. Try and get them to recall just good things about Francis, to get the mourning process going.
Go ahead. Go ahead and roll me.
I'm not charismatic at all, but she's trying.
That's fine. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check anyway. As the others sort of gather around listening to you, you would hear one of them sort of pipe up and start talking about Francis, start talking about the sort of things that he's done in his life. He may have been very young, but it was very obvious from those that were around him and from even those that he worked with that he was very well liked. And as they begin to talk, they begin to reminisce and sort of tell stories. They talk about how the sort of idea of bravery isn't something that had escaped Francis before, when sort of scaring off coyotes that were chasing sort of the herds, or the idea of going into places that were very dangerous or assumed dangerous because of things like spiders and the like, sort of around the farm, and not showing any real worry or sort of apprehension, but instead just doing his job. And because of this, a lot of his companions, a lot of his friends here remember him very fondly. And in this final moments, they begin to sort of play up the sort of heroism of the moment, where Mr. Broadhurst had fallen and you were facing off against two threats. And despite all odds, despite the danger in that situation, Francis and Anthony both began putting their lives on the line. And what turns into this moment of grieving turns into the sort of bubbling or beginning of a hero's tale, and the morale lifts, even if just for a moment.
True Tarosians, all of you.
All of them sort of laugh, giving half-hearted cheers, but you can feel the mood rising. And with that, it is well into the evening now. You can go ahead and hit your long rest button as you finish another day on travel. On a new day, partially relaxed but still fresh, the memory of Francis, you and your companions begin to gather up the tent and everything like that. I'm going to roll to see if anything visited you in the night. You would have been visited by a strange sight early in the morning.
Okay.
Perched along the trees on the sort of edge of your camp, you would note what appears to be about 9 ravens. These rather large corvids, their attention almost fixated, like watching each person here in this group. And you would see their heads sort of crane very curiously from side to side, just watching, just staring at you.
I would basically look at the ravens and say, "Send them be with you." Kind of making that intellectual leap based off of what I've seen.
Go ahead and roll me an animal handling. Oh, do we got an F?
Huh? Can you hear me?
I saw OBS dip really hard for a moment. Continue. Go ahead and roll me an animal handling.
Animal handling? Okay. A little bit better than my charisma, but we'll see how the roll goes. 11.
An 11. Okay. They don't seem to acknowledge any sort of statement or even show that they even understand what you had said. But the ravens, their curiosity is eventually sated as one of them would fly off, and eventually the others would fly off as well.
Before they leave, I'm going to put down a silver coin. How many are there?
There are, I believe I said 11.
You know what? I'll do 11 silver for this. Each of them get a shiny.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and mark off 11 silver from your pile. The first one that had flown off, seeing the silver, would eventually return, sort of flying down and sort of stopping like a foot or two away from the silver. You would watch as it very cautiously like hops forward once, then does another little hop again, until eventually it hops real close. You'd watch as his body duck down really low to the ground, its head sort of craning, its beak opens, takes the silver piece, and you would watch as it flies off. And eventually the others just follow suit. They are not nearly as cautious as the first one had been. Seeing the first one got away, they just rush up and start taking the silver pieces before flying off, this flutter of black wings in the morning sky.
Gives a nod and we'll continue forward.
Okay. Go ahead and pick your next hex, please, and roll for me an encounter dice. Mr. Broadhurst will roll. Faring a little better today, though still showing some wear and tear. He will roll his perception check. You can see he's more fixated on sort of holding where those sort of wounds are still healing. Despite looking like he is hale and whole, there's still a strain that was put on his body, having been knocked unconscious several times, and slammed to the point where he could have almost died. But it's almost more like he's daydreaming or fixated on something else. However, as you pass through what was once these dangerous, harrowing woods, where numerous threats of basilisks and mates and children had been, now you find there is almost a calm that has settled over the deep wood here. Where before there had been danger, now there is nothing. No threats. At least, none that are visible. And you travel through to your next hex with no issue. Go ahead and move to the final destination and roll for me another encounter dice, please. Once again, no issue. That serenity that had fallen over what was previously the throne of the Emperor, the domain of its empire, having fallen to ruin, you are welcomed into its previous home with open arms. Nothing dares challenge you, the returning victor. Arriving, taking 4 days to get here, you would find Nerea, who isn't initially at the gate, but upon hearing the arriving footfalls of horses and the creaking of carts, you would hear a flutter of wings as Nerea sort of surges upwards. Rushing out, you would see her sort of stop at the gate, and her eyes, searching, settle on you, a familiar face. And she sort of smiles warmly, seeing you.
Hail, hail, Maria.
A pleasure to see you again. I take it everything was okay?
We made it back fine. Reynold has what he needs, and he's working as we speak. Nerea, this is Roy.
She turns, looking him up and down.
A pleasure.
And he, looking her up and down, goes, "Ma'am?"
It's just me who came back. The others elected to stay in town.
That is understandable. You've been hunting for quite some time, so...
Yeah, we unfortunately lost someone along the way.
On the way here,
Yeah,
my condolences.
yeah. Morlings and a troll.
A troll?
A troll.
They must be being riled up by Otto. Otto has a way of shouting, and has a way of drawing attention, even if he does not mean it. More than likely, they were not waiting for you. They were waiting for Otto.
Understandable.
My condolences all the same.
Yeah. We did what we could. But we're here to get the things, and that way you can be back to your people. I just didn't want to dally because I knew you were waiting.
That is very kind of you. I've already taken the measures of getting everything set up for you. So, all we need is some strong backs, and we can get everything loaded up. You can rest here tonight, and then head out. And I will return home.
Thank you very much, Nerea.
It is a
We
pleasure to
appreciate
see you.
We appreciate everything you did.
I will do it all again. Fighting on the sides of all of you, it has been considerably fun. Come on.
She hops off the cart and goes in and helps direct and lift what she can with her little stubby dwarf arm.
Loading everything up takes the remainder of the evening. As such, your long rest will take a little bit longer before it's able to get situated. But given that it's already the evening, you and your companions have loaded all of the supplies, which many of them are just excited to see. The sort of elation that there is going to be supplies in town again just gives everybody this sigh of relief. Their shoulders relax. Eventually, all of their carts loaded up. And everybody's sort of preparing. Everybody sort of wanders and finds a place to rest here within the lair. And those crystals have dimmed considerably at this point. They are almost like inert. They barely give off any light anymore. And you can see where some of the larger crystals have already begun to crack and fissure in places. It's very obvious to tell that the corruption of this creature, the presence of it, its domain is falling apart. And with enough time, the regional effects that this creature had will be gone entirely.
She would settle in and just try and get some peace, knowing that it might not be an easy trek back, but she wants to try and get back and hopefully not lose anybody else along the way.
Perfect. Well into the evening, go ahead and you can hit your long rest button to signify another day completed. Okay. Early in the morning, I'm going to roll to see if anything visited you. A quiet evening. with no issues whatsoever. You awake freshened and prepared for the next leg of your adventure to take all of this home. Nerea smiling at you. So, which way do you plan on going? Because if you're going the same way I am, I could travel with you for a short while before breaking off.
Well, I was just following the way back that I knew. If you have a suggestion that might be better, by all means. I don't know these woods. I mean, Kellen's the one who can navigate better than I. I was just going by memory.
How about I take you back to the archway?
I greatly appreciate that, Nerea.
Perfect. Loaded up and prepared to go, we move the marker back to Eliant. All right. Go ahead and she's going to suggest this hex here. And it'll be Nerea that is attempting to perceive. Okay. Go ahead and roll me an encounter dice, please.
Here you go.
Traveling along, you'd find that almost this, it seems like the very epicenter, the surrounding woods of the throne have just gone quiet. There is nature that is returning here, wildlife. You can see animals sort of beginning to roam the home that they had been forced out of. You can see what appears to be birds that are beginning to perch and make nests. You can see where smaller prey-like animals like rabbits and the like begin to wander through, sort of hesitant as always, skittish and running at the first sight of anything that moves, but nature is healing. Go ahead and pick your next hex.
We'd be going back to the Elven Archway.
Indeed. Go ahead and roll me another encounter dice.
That is not what I wanted. Yeah, it is. Never mind. I thought I rolled a d20 for some reason.
It's all right. Arriving here at the archway, the site of your grisly battle from before, you arrive and would find that the bodies are gone, more than likely taken by a predator of some sort or a carrion eater of some sort that had passed through. The ashes are scattered, having been caught in the wind and the natural weather of everything. But you would arrive to this place, finding your comfort and your ability to rest. Nerea will stay with you for your night, and then in the morning, leave.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and hit your long rest. Signify another day done.
Yes, sir.
4, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay. Nerea, early in the morning, sort of greeting everybody with that final warrior's clasp, offering her forearm to all of them. Some of them hesitant, staring up at this rather imposing night maiden. But she seems sincere and smiling none the same. Greeting all of them and saying farewells, she'll turn to you.
I'll give her a class. Travel well, Nerea.
You as well. I do not imagine that this will be the last time that we see each other. Or at least, I hope it's not.
Neither do I. It was interesting to say the least, and hopefully I'll stop back in. I would like to speak with your sages again.
Well, for you and your companions, and for, I suppose, everybody, the spiders are open. And should you ever need a place to rest, a place to relax, away from perhaps the more excitable woods here in Tyros, you'll always have a place there.
Thank you. Travel well, and thank you for everything again.
Safe travels. And she will depart early in the morning. Mr. Broadhurst, turning to look at you. Well, they all look like that.
The Night Maidens, yes.
And they got spires?
They do.
All right. And he sort of muses on that idea for a moment as he loads back into the cart. All right. Next leg of the journey. Encounter dice, please. Okay. No issues whatsoever, though Mr. Broadhurst's attention, again, seems to not really familiar with this sort of long trekking journey. It's very apparent that Mr. Broadhurst and the others have spent a lot of time in Eliand, not really going too far out. So the idea of this sort of constant adventure isn't either something he hasn't done in a very long time or something he's not familiar with. And his mind sort of wanders, just sort of ruminating on everything that has happened during this little expedition of yours. You can travel to the next hex with no issue. Go ahead and roll, pick your next hex and roll me another encounter dice. We are in the grasslands. Huh.
What?
Give me a second.
Fuck.
All right. You would see a figure out here in the grasslands, amongst the many sort of felled trees. Sort of sat along one of them is a more stout figure. You would see their sort of wider fingers and hands would appear to be working a tool of some sort, as their knife seems to carve across what appears to be this piece of like log or wood, and they are just sort of whittling it away. And as you get closer, sort of not directly heading towards them, but sort of passing by them, you would recognize that this is a dwarf of some sort, with sort of a thick brown beard that hangs really low, not braided or anything. It almost looks wild, unkempt. His hair is pulled back into this very tight top knot. And the garb and equipment that he wears is these sort of very earthy tones. You can see that he has like this dark brown tunic, these sort of green accenting like belts and leathers, as well as what appears to be either like a shawl or a sort of like half coat of some sort that is made out of like moss. And you would watch as he is just sort of whittling away at them.
I would say Dwarven Hail.
Pausing for a moment, you would watch now as he turns. And as he turns, you can see this low-hanging sort of pipe caught betwixt their lips. And as you call out to them in Dwarven, their brows sort of knit together, bringing their fingers up to pull away the pipe. They reply back. "Oh,
Just traveling through, being polite and saying hello.
oh, aye. Well, safe travels to you and yours.
Safe travels to you and yours.
You can see him sort of look you over for a moment. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay.
This is a Hilmir, which is a hill dwarf. But the most apparent thing that you would recognize is looking at him, the tool that he's whittling with is your knife.
Oh. I see you got my knife. Thank you for the berries.
Seeing this conversation happening, Mr. Duskbrand would stop the sort of caravan, and this dwarf would look up. The expression of sort of this studying look is replaced instead with a very sort of welcoming nod.
Oh, I was passing through and I saw you and your companions were sleeping. So I figured you weren't doing nothing. You were traveling with some beasts of burden. I figured I'd leave you something to eat. And it seems you enjoyed it enough to return something back to the wild. So glad I could help.
Thank you. I really appreciated it. They were very, very good.
I grew 'em myself. I'm Oland Earthbeard. Who are you?
Ashilde Iron Hands. Pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine. I saw you were traveling through no more than a few days ago. I wasn't expecting to see you keep coming back. Where are you folks heading?
We're heading back to Elion's tier.
Quiet little place up by the river.
Aye.
Very well.
He sort of looks at you for a moment.
You said your name was Iron Hands.
Aye.
All right. Well,
You'd watch as he sort of sets the whittling tool down, sort of pocketing the little figure that he had been carving.
the Witch of the Woods sends her regards. He's mighty pleased with everything you and yours have been doing.
Send her good tidings from myself and my companions.
Aye, I'll be certain to do so. Best of luck on the rest of your journey.
And safe travels to you.
You would watch as he transforms wild shapes into a raven and flies off. This is the second hex of your day. You are able to rest.
And we shall do so. And I would tell Roy, I'm like, that is the fellow who left us the berries.
Really? Bit of a shame. If I had known, I'd have said thank you. It's a shame I couldn't understand what you both were saying, I'm afraid.
I apologize, we were speaking in Dwarvish.
Quite all right. I don't think nothing of it. I'm just glad that you and the fella were getting along. Well, let's go ahead and let's set up camp. We're almost home, so.
All right.
It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. You guys will have another day of rations, and then you will make it back to Eliant, and everybody will be able to eat there. So go ahead and hit your long rest button.
Yes, sir.
All right. As you wake up on a new day, Go ahead and pick your next hex and roll for me an encounter dice. A 4. Okay, another D100 roll. 85. You guys are in the grasslands once again. As you are traveling, something would catch your attention.
Hmm?
You would see a familiar sight. You would see one massive boar surrounded by about 4 or 5 other smaller boars, still large in comparison. You would see the crackle of electricity that crosses over the frame of the bigger one. This is the Thunder Fury boar and its entourage.
Let's just move around.
You can see them sort of staring you down, watching you very intently. You can see them sort of snorting at the air. You're attempting to go around them?
We're just gonna try and veer away from them. Leave them to their business.
Well, they block the hex leading here. So you have a choice of going up or going around.
I'll go down into the hill.
Okay.
Rather into the forest by the
Go ahead and roll an encounter dice. Traveling now well into the evening, and attempting to avoid the rather large sort of gaggle of boars, not wanting any conflict or danger, you and Mr. Broadhurst and the rest of the caravan diverge into these rolling hills that sort of surround the southern portion here at Elion's, or sort of deeper into the Southlands. And you are able to rest for the evening, as this is your second hex of travel. Go ahead and hit your long rest button. Okay. We're going to see if anything visited you. Nothing at all. It is a quiet, calm night. Well into the morning now with no issues. Go ahead and pick your next hex. Roll me an encounter dice. Traveling along and making your way through and sort of across one of the more shallow portions here in the river, you would begin to cross over into the grasslands once more, finding no issue. Go ahead and pick your next hex. Encounter dice. Okay. As well, as you guys rest tonight, the lads are out of rations, as this has been the 7th day of the travel.
Oh, let me see what I have on me. I have 1 day, 6 of them.
Not necessary. With this encounter dice, your camp would be visited.
Oh.
As you guys had set up camp here in the grasslands along the river, you would hear what sounds like sort of as it had begun to go into the evening, I should say, just before the light had fully gone out, you would see 3 or 4 young men sort of herding back this rather large passing of sheep. You would see 2 of them have packs on and are sort of just like wandering through until they catch the sort of caravan, and they very curiously approach until one of them rolls up and says, "Mr. Broadhurst?" As one of the shepherds here from Elion's on one of the outlying farms sort of recognizes all of you. And it'll join you guys' camp tonight. And if you would like, Ashilde, you could buy food for everybody.
I will.
Perfect. Let's see. 5. Yeah, it'll be about 10 silver pieces.
All right.
Perfect. And you'll have gotten food for everybody for tonight. That is insane. Your luck is super fucking fluctuating, by the way.
Yes, I've noticed.
It is ridiculous.
Essence of chaos.
A group of friendly travelers cross the group's path. The traveler have goods for sale that cost 1 GP or less from the adventuring table. Resting now on your just here on the outskirts of town. It is no checks necessary or anything like that. It is a quiet evening, save for sort of the braying of all of the sheep and everything like that. And then you would wake up on your new day and make your way into Eliond. Let me count the days real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It took you about 8.5 days, this full journey. So your first week was taken getting all of the supplies back. However, as you bring the supplies back into town, already it is drawing all of the attention of the people here in Eliond. You would see that even as you guys pass by, that just sort of the general excitement of the supplies being back is enough for people like Amira in the Church of Ebor to start ringing the bell, that sort of signifying sound, the returning victor. And as you bring it back, you would be able to return it there to the town center. Once it is fully returned, Mr. Broadhurst, the Women's Circle, and the Village Council will all begin distributing the numerous supplies that have been long awaited for since the Bright Festival back at the turn of the new year. It has been almost 2 months now without these supplies, but the people of Eliond are incredibly thankful. And seeing you return, albeit minus one of them, without Francis, the spirits shake just a little bit, but the prospect of getting these supplies, being able to feed families, new provisions, everything like that, is enough to remedy that worry.
I would nod to like Irene Calvert and everyone.
It would be Miss Calvert who approaches you before Gerald or any of the other ones are. We're going to put you right here. Who approaches you before any of the others does and sees you with Mr. Broadhurst, sees you with the others. And as she approaches, you can see her arms crossed over her chest, this stern expression that she always seems to wear, the braid resting over her left shoulder. And as she looks at you, you could see just the beginning, a very faint curl at the edge of her lip. Well done.
Thank you, Miss Calvert. I appreciate it. It wasn't without its troubles, but we got it done.
These supplies will go a long way to helping Eliond, and I thank you for that.
I just wanted to make sure they were returned.
You're not the only ones. At least, I don't imagine you left any supplies here on the outskirts of town before you left.
I don't believe so.
Then we have some other unrecognized benefactors that brought some supplies as well.
Really? What'd they bring?
This, she gestures to all of the supplies in the caravans, what we had been missing.
You mean there was another set?
It would appear so. We didn't catch who did it, however, so I do not know who to thank. But seeing as you brought this back, I suppose the thanks shall be yours.
Thank you, Miss Calvert. I just did what I could.
I'm going to get all of these supplies situated. The Women's Circle and the Village Council have much to discuss now that supplies have been returned. Should you wish to discuss anything else, speak to me tomorrow.
I think I may.
She would turn, making her way back, and you'd see that there are a number of older women that are already sort of waiting for her. Darkly dressed, you would see their braids hanging low over their left shoulders. And you would see Gerald, Guinevere, and a number of others that are just sort of wide-eyed and grinning. And as they look at you, there's this sort of like approving cheer that comes from all of them. Right. You did a great job, Miss Iron Hands. I hope, He sort of pauses. Where's,
We lost Francis along the way. We were attacked by Morlings and a troll.
It was light. Gods, I thank you for putting yourself in that risk and bringing back all these supplies that you did. That's no small feat, Miss Iron Hands. That's incredibly kind to you.
I just wanted to see the job done, Gerald. So I did.
Aye, that you did. I have to start distributing all of this to all of the appropriate folks, but I thank you.
I'm gonna get in close. Gerald, I almost got a smile out of Miss Calvert. I think I did something good.
Oh, be mindful of that. She starts smiling at you too much, and I mean, she's got you.
Understood.
But I'll speak to Francis's family. You said you fought a troll.
Yeah, unfortunately, it ate him, and I caught the troll on fire, so it was nothing but ash. I said a prayer over what was left, just for guidance, but
I appreciate everything that you've done. I truly mean it. I'll speak to Amira as well and get a headstone set up for him over there in the church. Think all of that danger. Right. I appreciate everything. I hope you get the rest you deserve. Don't worry about nothing. I'll cover your fees for staying there in the singing tier. You've done more than enough to earn it. So just go ahead and enjoy yourself.
I was about ready to ask you what I owe you for the week. Okay.
Go ahead and get your rest. I'll speak to the other council members. We'll get ourselves situated. So don't you worry none. Mr. Broadhurst, it's a pleasure to see you hale and whole. Mr. Broadhurst sort of nods, pushing himself off of the cart as it creaks, and he sort of exhales very low. She saved my life, so no small feat about that. I owe you, Ashilde.
Listen, I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself. Thank you.
You ever need anything, just pop on by the store.
I will do, Roy. And it was an honor fighting beside you. You are something else.
Oh, don't do that. It's just those days are behind me. I don't need all the glory and all that. So I appreciate you what you did. And as he turns, you would see a smaller tiefling, sort of bright red coloration as well, dark black hair, and this sort of very simple dress that she wears. And you would hear her call out, calling him Dad. And this is Robin, the sort of younger tiefling, his daughter. And as he approaches, you would watch as he sort of kneels down and hugs her very tight. You have brought a father back, hale and whole.
If you would have done that to me, I would have killed you.
I would have, smile. So good job on bringing him back.
Oh, God.
All right. You still have half the day with no issue. Is there anything else you would like to do with the remainder of your day? You still have 6 days left in your...
I would hop, skip, and jump over to Duskbrand's tower.
Okay. On this day?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Understood.
I will greet Miss Calvert, give her a good morning, and then head over.
Perfect. Rising early in the morning, greeting Miss Calvert as you have. You would still have... This would be the 9th day. All right, so you have 5 days left in your downtime. You make your way over to Mr. Duskbrand's tower early in the morning. So early, in fact, that you would catch them still doing their early morning training for Finn, as Mr. Duskbrand, as the door is opened, and Finn is the one to greet you. Sort of, good morning.
Hello, Finn.
A pleasure to see you, Miss Arnhans. Are you here to see Mr. Duskbrand?
Yes, I was just gonna try and do a little bit of research and spell work, and I think this is the most appropriate place to do it.
All right. Mr. Duskbrand, it's Miss Ironhands. And he would open the door and let you in, and you would see sitting at his desk, sort of enjoying this sort of early morning tea. He looks at you with a sort of brow raised.
Well, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I take it your week has been eventful, everything that I've heard?
Yeah. Basilisk dead. Supplies back in town.
And a very good job that was. I didn't get to see the beast, but from what I've heard from the farms that you passed, it was rather massive.
Yes, and it wasn't just the type that if you stare at it, it had beams, Mr. Duskbrand.
I'm afraid the study of creatures' anatomy is lost on me, but it does sound very peculiar given the basilisk's origins. I do not know what could have done it, but I imagine you'll learn with time with the Slayer.
Hopefully.
I heard that you are here to study.
Yes, I'm working on a spell.
Understood. Are you in need of supplies?
Just trying to get some fine-tuning on it. Based on what I wanted to do when I was traveling, I was doing a little bit of my own research. It is going to require components. And I'm just trying to formulate which would be the appropriate for the spell work itself. She would lay out her research on what she's attempting to do.
Very well. That all seems doable. I have supplies, inks, enchanted vellum, should you need it. But, of course, it will come associated with a price.
About how much are we thinking about, Mr. Duskbrand?
The ink that you will need, at least to ensure that everything is prepared. An ink bottle for about 1 ounce should cost you no more than 15 gold. And the vellum for you to be able to transcribe a spell. I don't have a price associated with it because Wizards of the Coast is fucking lazy.
Understood, Mr. Desquerant. Understood.
How fucking hilarious that they don't have a fucking spell cost associated with it. What is the potency of the spell you're trying to make?
It would be, like one of the first spells you learn. Not, it wouldn't be one of the simpler spells and she would, like, do prestidigitation. It would be more along the lines of, like, a magic missile.
Ah, very well. I have some enchanted vellum that should suffice for such potency of a spell. Let me get that for you, and we can discuss costs later.
Understood.
How much time will you be spending for your remaining days trying to put energy down into making this spell?
It would be evenly split between that and me trying to combine the arcane and the divine.
What if you had to pick one?
Then I'd go for the spell.
Perfect. And how much time are you attempting to put down in, or rather, how much of the day are you willing to put into this?
Pretty much most of it. This is an endeavor. Like this is like what wizards try and do, make their own spell. So this is like a, okay, I can do this. Because this would be something unique to me. And then of course I would also share it with Master Dustbrand.
Okay. Give me a second.
For those in chat wondering what I'm trying to do, I'm basically trying to get a 3/5 spell into 5e. I'm trying to get Endure Elements.
God, I love when they give you literally everything except the fucking time you need to make a spell. Wizards!
Mm-hmm. Look at them all up there waiting.
Okay, this is proving to be a conundrum because there is no actual information on this. So what's going to happen is you're going
DM's choice?
you're going to be putting progress down towards making this spell. You're going to spend the remainder of your 5 days, I assume, making the spell, which it means testing, sort of proofing it, making sure everything works, all of the theories are correct, all of the sigils and everything are prepared, having Duskbrand ensure that everything is written and well, sinking money into this to even start attempting to make a first level spell. I'm going to say it's going to cost you about 20 gold.
Fair enough.
In vellum and magical inks to sort of test it as you are making your own spell. You're not copying a spell, so you're spending resources to start sort of putting progress down towards this. So I would like for you in your notes, once I eventually get the magic system written, I would like you to put in your notes that you have 5 days of progress written down towards making this spell.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Let me know when you've done that.
Done. It's on my journal entries.
Perfect. Spending the remaining 5 days, Mr. Duskbrand offers you his tower, as well as the veritable like hoard of supplies that he has in enchanted vellum, enchanted ink, for you to begin transcribing and trying to make your own, as well as just sort of enjoying the company of Finn, who is still learning his spells. You would see that he is starting to learn some of the more progressive cantrips, things that sort of level or scale, which you would see he is able to begin casting Firebolt. And Mr. Duskbrand is sort of splitting his time. Training is still happening for Finn as well. The sort of mentorship or the sort of like more studious nature of Mr. Duskbrand as he sort of watches you like you were a student in Orias.
I would make sure that you are fully closing your circles.
I'll keep an eye on that, Mr. Duskbrand. I know what I want to do. I'm just making sure that I have everything correct, because we all know what happens if you don't do it correct.
Indeed. And you've been doing very well. Your math seems to be correct. I can find no faults in it. We'll just need more time. Given your split in your studies, I imagine that this will be a little bit more challenging. But you needn't worry. I have seen what you have done thus far and what you have accomplished, and I believe in you.
Thank you. I appreciate hearing that.
Now then, finish writing this.
And for the remainder of your time in this downtime, you will be here in Mr. Duskbrand's tower, going over the various arcane theories that are established and necessary for making a spell. And that is what we're going to call your downtime.
Yay!
Your solo session. Thanks so much
I
for
didn't
playing.
die.
You didn't. Good job.
So happy.
All right. So, as you were the first solo session, how did it feel?
Felt good. Don't get me wrong. I was very nervous there for a moment. That was a lot of natural 20s. Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed it was. Perfect. All right, homie. I'm going to take a break, get a drink, get some food, everything like that. And then we will begin TPK Tuesday. Congrats again on not dying, and congrats on bringing all of the supplies back.
Thank you.
At the ninth day mark and everybody's downtime, they will be able to purchase more provisions and better provisions from Mr. Broadhurst.
Awesome.
Perfect. All right, homie. I'll be back.
All right. I did it. I didn't die. Wizard went out without her meat shield and didn't die. Thank you. Roy was my meat shield, but I'm used to having more. Alaric is a beast. Siluril is a beast. Marana is so shanky. And Kellen is my long range artillery. And I was really nervous going out without. And Yuria is also long range artillery with a little bit of melee. She's good. And I was just very nervous not having the rest of them with me, but I lived. And I didn't get a dad killed, so that works too. Oh god, don't say that, Zevis. No. If I were a straight cleric, like with the armor and all, I probably would be a little bit sturdier, but like I've got it split with wizard and cleric. So I'm not as tanky as I could be, but I have a lot more utility. But I'm gonna keep working, and hopefully my compatriots also have good endeavors. I have I may have dropped my dagger, but I have a hand axe, which is my weapon of choice. The dagger is what I had prior to the hand axe. Me dropping shield prior to going out, like that's hindsight's 2020. You know what I mean? I wanted to have the ice knife in there for my not Arcana cleric, but my scribe wizard ability to be able to swap damage out. So I had everything I needed. Yeah, I'm gonna be putting that right back, Isa. But if I would have had it, if I would have used it, then I would have been out of spells, period, and Roy might have died, and I might have died. Like, just from that knee-jerk reaction, so... It happened the way it happened, and I think it was better because I I get. Because that shield would have taken up first level spells that I was using for healing and whatnot. So, like, the knee jerk reaction to not get hit helped me keep Roy up. I didn't know it was a good call. It was just me trying to have the most utility possible since I was going out by my lonesome. Like, it was completely wheel or woe all session. All of those green numbers from the troll made me very, very nervous. And the fact that for the longest time the Morlings weren't rolling below an 18 when hitting me. She would have stayed. She wouldn't have fled. She wouldn't leave him. I'd have gone down swinging like a Tarosian. Like, if it would have gotten like down to the nitty gritty, I would have attempted concordance too, probably.
Okay, I am back, although I am waiting for my food. So what's going to happen is I'm going to transition the screens and everything like that. And I'm going to drop down into my DM's hall. So,
Okie dokie.
all right, homie. Thanks for playing.
Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. All right. Drop down. Take a moment. We're going to transition over to map creation stuff.